So we're going to be role-playing today. Here's what I'm going to assume. Most of you are Canadian. Is that correct? From the great state of North America? Northern America? Northern America? No, Canada, right? Canada, yes. Okay, good. Here's the thing. The topic that we're going to be working on today is waiting for the market to crash. Now, here's the thing. I was speaking with Agent Locator, and they're like, it's okay. We're used to it. All these presenters come in, and everything is geared for the American audience, and us Canadians get shafted. Well, I say no more of that, okay? Here's the thing. There's one part of, thank you, Jennifer. There's one part of this that is right now what I have on a slide that's geared toward the US market. However, what we're going to do is I'm going to solicit from you guys your own specific to Canada or your own market information. And then we're going to build it into this scripting and dialogue piece that we're doing around market. So with that said, let me just finish introducing who I am. So I'm Dale Archdekin. I'm the founder of Smart Sales Coaching. And we've been training agents and ISAs on scripting and dialogue and lead conversion for the past 6 years now. I come from actually selling real estate, right? I come from actually cold calling the shit out of people and going on appointments and getting them to sign contracts and handling their objections so that I could keep the lights on and keep the money flowing into the bank account. And then I went on to building teams and building inside sales departments. A lot of what I'm going to teach you, or what I'm going to teach you today, is part of a lot of stuff that we do within my coaching and training company. And it comes from needing to teach ISAs who have no experience in the business or no real estate experience how to quickly start working leads, having conversations, and setting appointments that will then go to close. Here's what I'll tell you, is that what we teach within my company, here's the philosophy behind it. We needed to look at how our top producing salespeople, how do experienced salespeople, how do they think about how to be in a conversation with a sales lead? How do they make decisions? We took those things and condensed them down into patterns that we could teach these ISAs that I now teach, my company now teaches to agents and ISAs across the US and Canada. So we have a lot of teams, a lot of companies that come and do training with us. And Agent Locator saw me speaking at an event and said, wow, you're not just a pretty face, you do actually have some great techniques and strategies, and I want you to come teach them to my audience. And I said, excellent, we're going to do that. So this is going to be interactive, guys. I'm going to go through these slides and I'm going to teach you this stuff. And then what we'll do is we're going to solicit from you guys. I'm going to have people role playing. I want to role play with you. I want to practice with you because, a lot of times you can watch this stuff and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Ha. We had some laughs. And I think I learned some stuff and took some notes, but then you can't actually go and do it and use whatever we talked about. So one housekeeping item before I start to get into the Canadian versus American stats that we need to use. One is I have a podcast. Actually, has anybody here ever heard of me? Have you ever seen me do any training? By show of hands. Alex, there we go. One, I've got one fan, everybody. Alex, thank you for being here, Alex. You and my mom. Oh, Aldo's here. Hey, Aldo said yes. Kathleen said, no, not yet. That's very optimistic, Kathleen. I appreciate that. Roshni, you've seen me. Great. Or you just have a question. I'm not sure. Maybe you've seen me. You've seen it. Okay, good. Oh, all right. Excellent. Good. So 4 people and my mom. So the podcast is called Cash Call, everybody. My co-host and I, Brian Curtis, do this every week on Wednesday. We just did one yesterday. And we're either interviewing a vendor that does lead generation or lead conversion, or we're actually playing recordings of agents and ISAs having sales calls, and Brian and myself are coaching on those things. And my staff, Jaden down here, has just dropped the link in the chat, that tiny URL thing. That will take you to the Cash Call podcast if you want to go check it out. Roshni follows me on Cash Call. There we go. I need to get you guys like a face tattoo or something, like a temporary face tattoo. It can say Cash Call, or maybe a hat. That would be more appropriate. So I wanted to drop that. We do have it's called Cash Call. It's a podcast every week. You guys can check us out there. Okay, let's get down to it. let's do this. Let me start talking about the framework first around market crash. All right, let me share my screen and then I'll solicit from you guys some of your Canadian specific data. And then we're going to role play with you using my pattern, my process, and you baking in your Canadian specific data. And I keep saying Canadian. You're like, you idiot. Canada's a big ass place. There's lots of provinces. There's lots of areas, right? There's an east and a west or whatever. So I understand that. What I'm saying is you'll use your own specific market data, but what you'll do is you'll pack it into my framework and we'll role play doing that. Okay, so let me go over here and share my screen. I know I brought this up and then I forgot what window it was in. There it is. All right, so this whole market crash thing down here in the States right now, a big thing is people are saying that they're going to wait for the market to crash, or they're going to wait for interest rates to come down, or they're going to wait for prices, home prices to come down. So this is a big one that's preventing buyers from moving forward currently. I think that it also even has some sellers concerned for various other reasons, right? If they're planning on, they need somewhere else to live. So if somebody's trying to divest an investment property or a property they don't want, now is the time they're doing that. But otherwise, this is really putting downward pressure on a lot of the market. It's putting downward pressure on buyers and on sales and transactions. So when we talk about this pattern, we're using this, market crash, interest rates, prices. It really kind of covers a lot of those. So let me show you what not to do first. So when somebody says, I'm going to wait for the market, well, hold on. Maybe this is the time. Let me do this. Let me talk to you guys. You guys all have the power to unmute yourselves, okay? Are you guys in your market hearing waiting for the market to crash, waiting for prices to come down, or waiting for interest rates to come down? You are hearing the same things. Okay, cool. So I'm going to ask, I want some of you who feel like you've had many of these conversations and you feel like you have data to the contrary or information to the contrary, do me a favor, unmute yourself and tell me what they are so that I can bake it in as I'm talking about this stuff.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is Diksha. So first of all, a lot of buyers who were ready priorly, I would say if a month back I was following up with them or 2 months back, they said, yeah, you can follow up or we'll feel ready. But now when you call them, it's the same answer in different words. We are waiting, the market is too unstable, we can't go ahead and buy because of the interest rates, the prices are going to come down. So pretty much everyone is saying the same thing.
Okay. So what I'm looking for, well, let me ask you this. Is there any evidence that your interest rates are going to come down in the near future?
No.
Okay. Is there evidence that shows that your interest rates will either stay high or go up in the future?
Yeah, they will actually go up. We are expecting an increase December and as well, and maybe in January as well.
Okay, got it. And that is controlled by who? Who sets that?
The Bank of Canada.
Bank of Canada. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. When I talk through this stuff, guys, if I say things that don't quite make sense, just put it into your Canadian language. That's a joke. I have very dry humor. Okay. Okay. What I mean is just correct it. If I say, listen, the Bank of Canada has already said they're going to be raising rates in December, potentially again in Q1 of 23. If it's not quite Bank of Canada, just change it. Okay. Just fix it. Okay, good. Do we have any evidence that suggests that in your area, home prices are going to come down? Sheldon shook his head up and down, yes. Okay, what is the evidence that home prices will come down next year?
Less activity, more listings sitting on the market longer, and then selling for a lot less, especially single family homes.
Okay, so I appreciate you telling me that, Sheldon. So why would we right now tell buyers that they should purchase?
Because there's deals to be had. And
okay, but won't I get even more of a deal if I wait?
Every situation is different.
Okay, I'm not challenging you, Sheldon. What I need in order to teach this, I need the words. I need all of your evidence for why a buyer or seller should move forward. I need that. I'm going to bake it into what I'm going to do here with you guys.
Maybe they should buy now because later on, if the interest rises more, their purchasing power is going to go down more eventually. I know the prices will fall, but there's no evidence they're going to fall a lot more than they've been done here in GTA, if I have to talk about my area.
Give me this. What over the last 20 years, how many times have prices gone down?
I am not that sure because I've been working from 2 years in this market. And it's the first time that they've gone
Great.
down.
Let's say every 5 years.
I'm going to teach you guys something magical. Do you know who knows?
No one.
Google. Hey, all right, everybody go to Google. In your local market, over the last 20 years, how many times have home prices gone down and how much have they gone down by? I love how everybody just went to Google right now.
Dale,
If
can I
I've
say
told you
something real
nothing
quick?
else. Yes, go.
You talk about evidence, and evidence is a very obvious term. We have no evidence of what's going to happen. The only thing we know is right now. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We can all pontificate, we can all anticipate. Nobody knows.
Okay, so thank you, Victoria D. I don't know what your name is.
It's Doug.
Doug, Victoria
Sorry.
Doug. I like it. All right, Doug, here's my challenge to you. Let's listen to what I say here, okay? If I was in the States, Doug, and you said, Dale, I watch the news, I watch YouTube, I follow whatever pontificators there are on TV, and they said home prices are going to come down in 23 and the market's going to crash. And then I said, Doug, I really appreciate that. My pontificators I looked at pointed out that over the last 100 years, we've only had 11 recessions, and only 2 of those did home prices go down any appreciable amount, once in 1980, once in 2008. And the pontificators I follow say that there's 5 factors that are not there that would prevent home prices from coming down at all in the foreseeable future. And they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So, Doug, I appreciate what you're saying about all we know is now. Here's my issue that all of you are going to have to deal with, which is they are watching and hearing from people who are, in some cases, talking out of their ass and guessing as to what's going to happen. And they're saying bad things that's putting negative pressure on them. So I want you guys to find as much evidence or, inference or whatever information you can to combat that, because you have to have something. Okay, Doug? If somebody shows up to the game and they say, Dale, I'm not going to do things for these reasons because those people said so. I've got to have, well, you should do these things because of these reasons, because the people I follow said so. Can't just be, I can't show up to the game where you say, Dale, not going to do this because of these reasons, because of the people I follow. And I show up and I say, well, I'm just going to ignore that. And I would love for you to believe me. Right?
How do you put that information out there in a way that is not argumentative with them? Because they just say, well, I don't believe you.
No, I'm going to show you. But here's the thing. I'm going to show you in 2 seconds. If we were in the US, I would have already started running through this and shown you how to do it in a non-confrontational way. I was just trying to get some authenticity so that I'm not saying things to you guys that don't make sense in your market. Go ahead, Judith.
And in my market,
here. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Sue. But let's let Sue finish. Go ahead, Sue.
yeah, in my market, which is the GTA, I know a lot of people are there. It's very dependent on the type of property. So the entry level homes, they're still very, very competitive. Anything under $1 million is getting multiple offers and still selling.
Okay. Is it Judith?
It's Judith. Thank you.
Judith, thank you.
I'm thinking about how to explain to my clients about maybe the prices will go down. We don't know. But with the current prices and the mortgage rates as such, they're still better off than 6 months from now where mortgage rates are higher and maybe the prices are a little bit lower, but with the current mortgage rates, they will be paying less.
Okay. All right.
I have a hard time explaining this, so I was hoping maybe you can touch on this.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. Here's what we're going to do, everybody, so that I can teach this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to role play. There's a little reactions button at the bottom of your Zoom window. It shows a little emoji with like a plus symbol on it. If you want to role play, you're going to click that and you're going to click the hand icon. Just raise your hand. and keep them raised. Okay. I'm going to role play with you. I'm going to teach you a framework. I'm going to role play with those people who have their hands raised. I saw one go down as soon as I said that. There was one up and it went down. So I'm going to, there we go. Elena, look at Elena. She's brave. And Sheldon's get in there. Sue, you have to get in there because you want to know how to deliver it, right? Judith, you're going to need to get in there because you already spoke up. So if you want to role play, just keep your hand up. I'm going to role play with you. We're going to go through this framework. Here's what we're going to do, everybody. I want you thinking about this as I start teaching this material. When we get to you, you need to have what I'll call an education piece. So you know how I just did with Doug, where I said over the last 100 years, we've had 11 recessions, prices only went down twice. That's factual data. Okay, that's an education piece. Economists down here say that there's 5 factors that aren't existing, that were happening in 2008 that don't exist now, that would prevent a recurrence of 2008. That's data, right? So I want you to have some kind of educational piece, which you just alluded to, right? Which is currently there's no evidence that says that prices will definitely go down. Even if they do, it'll simply cause more competition in the market. And we do know that interest rates are going to go up, which means that even if you end up paying a lower price for a property in the future, you'll probably have a higher mortgage payment anyway. So I don't know. I have never sold real estate in Canada. I don't watch your news or your TV. I just made that up from the things that you guys said. I want you to have some education piece like that, okay? So you're going to make that up for yourselves. And now I'll teach you a framework where you're going to put it into, as Sue asked about, how to deliver this in a way that's not obnoxious.
Your market in terms of interest rates going up and the prices coming down are quite similar to what's going on in the States.
Okay, so nobody thinks our prices are going to come down. That's the only difference. And we don't have a history of home prices coming down with any kind of anticipated regularity. So that is one distinction. So here we have, at best, prices are going to stay where they are or go up slower, right? At worst, they're going to keep going up faster, and our interest rates are going up. Your purchase power goes down. So that's what I can say. I want you guys to be authentic to your market. So let me teach you this framework real quick. I'm going to share my screen over here. Here's how we deliver this. All right. So somebody says, yeah, thanks. They registered on your website. I'm just going to wait for the market to crash. Here's what we're not going to do. Okay. We're not immediately going to disagree, Sue, right? We want to not be obnoxious. We're not immediately going to disagree. We're not going to immediately make them wrong. We are not going to immediately educate them. We can't do that before we really understand them, and we aren't going to close them immediately. All right. So we're going to avoid all of those things. Sometimes when I say this, I'm like, I bet somebody out there, or a lot of people are just like, oh my God, Dale, that's so obvious. I don't do that. Bullshit. A lot of you do this. A lot of you already do this. And I hear the calls. I interact with the salespeople. And do you know who does this the most? Salespeople who've been selling for a long time, who know a lot, right? Those are the ones who fall most victim to disagreeing or immediately, making somebody wrong or trying to contradict them. Those are the people who do that the most. So I'm saying right now, don't do that. Here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to get their perspective or experience. Invite it. It's okay. Let them tell you all of the nonsense that they have rolling around in their head, or whatever their fears are, or whatever their holdups are. And then you're going to get whatever the benefit is to them. You're going to just figure that out, get them to articulate that. Then you can educate them. And then we go into a soft close. What do I mean by soft close? I'll explain that when we get there. We'll be practicing it, but a hard close would be, if I could, would you be ready to write an offer? If I could, would you be ready to make a purchase? If I could, would you move forward with that property, right? That's a hard close. Soft closes are, if I could, would you be interested in considering that? If I could, would you at least want to know about it? Okay. You guys hear the difference in soft close and hard close? And then listen, nothing that we say, nothing that we do, no pattern is going to be perfect. We can't convert everybody, and that's okay. Some people are going to be like, hey, Dale, I hear your fancy words. That's wonderful, but I'm still going to hang out over here in my hobbit hole, just wait for the sky to fall and I'll pick up the pieces later, right? Sometimes we can't do anything about it. So if that's the case, if you roll through this, you unpack them with their perspective, experience, and the benefit, you do your best to educate them and then soft close them, and it still falls on deaf ears, that's okay. You're then going to set a logical next step. And what I want to tell everybody here, write this down and put it up on your mirror, okay? A logical next step with a sales lead consists of 3 things. When we're going to talk next, why we're going to talk next, and what they're going to get out of it. Never end a conversation with a potential piece of business without those 3 items. When we'll talk next, why we'll talk next, and what they will get out of it. If you end a conversation by saying, okay, well, I'll send you some properties and I'll just check back with you in a couple of months. No, that is not a logical next step. That is weak, and it's basically a threat. You're saying, hey, I'm a strange salesperson with no other value other than to just call you out of the blue and see if you're ready to buy or sell something. So when you'll talk next, why you'll talk next, and what they'll get out of it is a logical next step. So let's roll through this, okay? Who wants to roll? Sheldon. Sheldon, you're going to role play with me, okay? And I'll try to use what you guys said in terms of Canadian info. Sheldon, do you want to unmute yourself so I can role play with you?
Okay, yeah, what? So
All
when,
right.
why, what?
Yeah, when will we talk next? Why will we talk next? And what will you get out of it?
I'm terrible at that. What you get out of that?
And I'll
just
demonstrate. I'll do
explain
that.
about the guy who just calls randomly and says, "Are you ready to buy?" Especially with the agent locator site. It's like,
Yeah.
I see you're looking at listings all the time. You must be ready.
Well, that's a little bit, one, yes, I wouldn't say that. 2, that's a bit of a different scenario.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about with logical next steps, Sheldon, is that I've had an interaction with somebody and they aren't ready to meet with me now, or they aren't ready to go look at a property now, or they aren't ready to book a next, hard appointment with me.
Yeah.
Then the logical next step comes in, right? I'm going to close out by establishing when you and I are going to talk next, why we're going to talk next, and what you're going to get out of it.
Sorry, can I just jump in?
Sure.
So your logical next step could be a follow-up with clients.
It is a follow-up.
Okay, so
It
it's a
is.
Just has some
follow-up,
framework.
a
Yes.
stronger follow-up. Okay, gotcha.
A stronger follow-up, Elena. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to demonstrate
Mhm.
going through this pattern with Sheldon. Or Sheldon, if you're busy writing, I can pick somebody else.
I can go.
Sure, somebody else go.
Okay,
Okay.
Elena. I'm going to go with Elena. Elena, keep it vanilla, straight down the middle. Don't try to I want to demonstrate this pattern, okay?
Sure.
So keep it real simple. And what we're going to start off by is let's just use this website since you guys are agent locator users, right?
Mhm.
So Elena has registered on my website. I give Elena a call. Elena says, hey, yeah, thanks, Dale. But listen, we aren't going to be buying now. We're going to wait for the market to crash. So Elena, you say that to me. Say, thanks, Dale. We're going to be waiting until the market crashes.
Thanks for your emails. We're just going to wait it out. We think the market is going to crash.
Oh, got it. And so, well, thank you for letting me know that, Elena. When you say crash, what do you mean?
Well, people are going to not being able to afford to buy. So, the market will crash. And then we will be able to buy.
And then you'll be able to buy. Great. Okay, got it. And when do you think that'll happen, Elena?
Anytime now. Interest rates are going up. People overpaid. The market is inflated. So soon we're going to see a lot of for sale closures.
Got it. Okay, so so let me just make sure that I understand. So when the market crashes, you think you're going to see foreclosures, and what will that do for you, Elena?
I can get a better price.
Get a better price. Okay, got it. And so, Elena, what if that doesn't happen? What if the market doesn't crash and prices don't come down and you aren't able to get a better price?
Well, we see it over the news and everything else. It's bound to happen.
Okay, all right, I got it. But I'm not sure. This is where we're going to go into the education piece. I'm not going to show this slide because it doesn't work for you guys.
Mhm.
Elena, listen, I appreciate you sharing all of that with me. And I'm not sure if you know this, but the interest rates are going to continue going up, which means that you, unless you're buying in cash, you and a lot of other buyers are just going to have less buying power. And, over when our home prices go down, they really only go down slightly by maybe a couple of percentage points. And so right now, if you wait and we don't have the apocalypse that you think you're looking for. You might pay a little bit less for a home, but ultimately you're going to be paying a lot more monthly over the life of that loan. And so let me ask you this. If a property that came on the market really was fantastic, it checked most of the boxes for you and your family and still looked like it was a decent deal, would you at least want to know about it?
I would.
Okay. So everybody, I attempted to use your data, which was just a little bit more implied. It wasn't so number heavy because I don't have the numbers for you guys. I suggest that you get a few more numbers. And then I rolled right into a soft close. I didn't ask Elena what she thought about what I said. I didn't ask for permission to educate her. I didn't break it up and solicit any more feedback from her. I educated her and then I made a soft close, right? And she said she'd want to know about it. Let's do it again, Elena, where you say, I don't care, Dale, I'm not buying until the market goes down. So Elena, if a great home came on the market that checked most of the boxes for you and your family and looked like a decent deal, would you at least consider it?
No, because look at what's going to happen in the market. I know the market will crash. So no, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Listen, I can appreciate that, Elena. And I'm sure that you want to make the best possible decision for you and your family. So I watch the market constantly. That's what my job is. And generally we get market data and pricing data that comes out generally between 2 weeks to a month. That's kind of the frequency about how we get updated. So what I'll do is we're currently at the end of December. I'll reach out to you at the end of January just to give you an update on where the market is, where prices are at, so that you can really keep a tab on which way they're going. That way, either you can jump on it and take advantage of the dip in the market, or you can prevent yourself from really missing out and ending up paying more. Does that sound good?
I really like it. Actually, I like this close. This one is really good. I don't do that. I should be doing that. Okay. It's good. I like it.
That's why I have a job doing that. Thank you for your approval, Elena.
You're welcome.
Yes, good. All right, so that was the role play, everybody. You guys get the idea. I basically followed this pattern, right? I unpacked her, I got her experience, her perspective, what she thought the benefit was that was going to happen for her. And then I rolled right into the counter education, the information that she should consider from my knowledge, from my perspective. And then I just gave her a soft close that's hard to say no to, right?
Can you explain, Dale, can you explain the benefit to them, the second point? I'm not really understanding that fully.
The logical next step one?
No, when you're talking to them from the beginning, it said, yeah.
Oh, do you remember when I asked,
get the benefit to them, get the benefit to them.
Do you remember when I said, what will that do for you? And she said, oh, well, we'll get a great deal on a house. We'll pay less and we'll be able to buy.
Okay. Yep.
That was what her benefit was. That's what she was trying to get to.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope that everybody understands this. It's not about, in this case, in this role play, it wasn't about Elena. It wasn't about waiting for the market to crash. It was about Elena wanting to buy an affordable home or even upgrade her what's it called? Her style of living, whatever that, I forget that, her lifestyle, right? Upgrading that. And she was thinking that the market represented that opportunity for her. So then I counter-educated her and then just went to a soft close. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what she wanted was a house that checks most of the boxes that she thinks is a good deal, right? That's pretty much what she wants. And then if I offer that to her, she said she would want to know about it. Great. I'm happy with that. That's somebody that I think I might be able to get to go out and actually look at property. Now, the reality might be it could go that way. Or Elena could have said what she did the second time. No, you know what? We're just not making a move. We're just not ready, or we don't have our finances in order, or we just can't afford it. We don't have the down payment. Any of the other things that she could have said that could be going on. When you do this with somebody, when you stay in that conversation longer, you're going to uncover, is this really a motivational issue or an ability issue rather than a market issue, rather than a home price issue, rather than an interest rate issue? Make sense, everybody? Okay. Who wants to practice? Well, we have the hands up that are going to practice the pattern. Has anybody in listening to this been inspired to also try it? It's harder than it looks, Matt Snowball. Is that really your last name? My staff, that is a very cool last name, sir. We had a debate in the waiting room. We were like, is that really his name? It's really his name. Very cool. Okay, let's do it then. Elena. So Anita, in order to role play, you're going to, oh, you have your hand up. Great. I'm going to go across the room here. I have Elena, Anita, Sue, Anna, and your name says Mahesh, but you said your name was Dee. So let's go with Elena. We'll start with you first since you role played with me. Do you want to see the slides, Elena?
No.
All right. Elena's a baller. So Elena, thanks for reaching out, but we're just going to be waiting for the market to crash.
Okay. Other than waiting for the market to crash, what is it that's stopping you for looking for a home?
Other than waiting. Nope, that's not the pattern, Elena. So I'm going to skip you. I'm going to go to the next person. I want you guys to do the pattern and I will share the slides. Or Elena, if I share the slides, here's the trick. Just read the slides, Elena. Because you were headed toward a close. Other than waiting for the market to crash, is there another reason you're waiting to purchase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or stopping you from purchasing? That's on your way to a close. I want you to really understand me, okay? So let's do this. Yeah, Elena, thanks for calling, but we're going to be waiting for the market to crash.
When you say crash, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, home prices come down. It's inevitable. It always happens. And, I've been following it on the news and we're in a bubble.
We're in a bubble. When do you think that will happen?
Sometime in 23, I guess.
Okay. And what will that do for you?
Well, I mean, obviously it'll make houses more affordable and make sure that I don't make a bad decision by buying too high.
Mm-hmm. What if that doesn't happen?
Well, I don't know. Then we may have to reconsider and possibly just move forward. But it'll, I'm going to wait a good 6 months before we make that decision. Do you want to educate me now and then soft close?
Because ours is different. So, and some people, they don't want to be educated. So I'll try with the soft close.
Just do no, educate me, Elena. I want you to have an education piece.
Education could just be like one fact that you know. Doesn't have to be a huge amount.
Educate you about what? What do you want me to educate you? Like, you have to understand what you guys are doing in the States, it's different from here. So most of the time right now, what we have here is a panic. If I go to you and I say to you, this is not going to happen, I'm doing exact opposite what you just said. I'm disagreeing. I don't want to disagree and educate them. I want to be able to soft close them. And if not, I want to do the follow-up. This is how I would approach it.
So yes, but you're here to learn from me. And so let's either practice what I teach or you can continue doing what you're doing. You're just here to practice what I'm teaching. If you want to practice it, if you don't, that's totally fine too.
Okay, so put the education piece. Let me take a look at it.
Okay, well, the only thing is this works for the US market. And so that's what I've been saying is that I would prefer that you had your own words. Let me do it this way, Elena, rather than looking at this. If you're talking to me and I'm a lead, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You want to sell me a house if I want to buy one, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay. But then if I say, no, Elena, I want to buy a house, but I'm not going to do it because our economy is going to crash and houses are going to be a lot cheaper in the future. What would you say to me to say, Dale, that's not the case necessarily because of X, Y, and Z? What would you say?
Well, the prices will always either go up or go down. What matters to you is at what price you're getting it and if it fits the value that you want to pay for the house. There's always going to be interest rates going up and down. This is a fact. And the best time to get into the market is yesterday. So
all right.
What is it going to be? I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, I said, all right, you're doing well. Elena, here's what I'm going to leave you with. This is the part. So you already have this stuff. You already have it, but you don't have any kind of data behind it. Like the Bank of Canada says this, or the so-and-so says that. That's the only thing that you need to bake into what you already know and what you're already doing. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So you just need some of that, some third-party validation You already know how to do an education piece, but you need some third-party validation, and then you go to a soft close.
Hey, Dale,
Yes.
it's Larry. If I can help Elena with her market information, is that the Bank of Canada is only concerned about one thing, reducing inflation. So they are not going to increase rates unnecessarily. Also, the government has already indicated they're going to let in 500,000 new Canadians in Canada every year. That's going to create a huge demand. And once rate starts coming down, that demand is going to explode the very little inventory that we have. And the one thing the government's not fixing is the inventory. They're reducing rates, they're letting more people come in. But if the inventory doesn't get resolved, prices will go up and it will be out of control in a matter of a year or two.
There we go. Okay, Elena, that was an education piece, and he threw in some third-party validation. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, so the pattern, Elena, that I teach and that we do and that our clients use is understand you, ask questions, get to you what your core reasoning is and what you want to get to, then roll into our education, which is typically contrary to what they're thinking, with third-party validation, and then a soft close. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I would propose that you try that. You're not going to break anything. People will still say no to you, but some people will say maybe, or yes, I'd be interested, or yes, you can put it in front of me. What will happen is, everybody listening, is that you will have a few more opportunities, and heading into a market that's slower with fewer home sales, a few more opportunities is the name of the game. Cool. All right. I want to get to a couple more people. Elena, are we good?
We are.
Am I still on the Christmas card list? I just want to make sure.
It depends. I'll think about it, let you know.
That's tough. All right. You let me know. Let's go to Sue.
Okay, great.
All
I
right,
need the
Sue.
slides for some
You need a
cues, yeah.
slide. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
So
Yeah.
Sue, I came to your website. I'm looking around. You call me up bravely, ask me if I want to buy a house. And I say, yeah, Sue, listen, I appreciate it, but we're waiting for the market to crash.
Oh, yeah. I hear that a lot. When you say crash, can you tell me what that means to you?
The interest rates are really too high. The prices are too high. The economy's crazy, and we're in a bubble. And so I'm just waiting for the prices to come down.
Okay, yeah. So do you have any idea when that might happen?
So at least sometime in 2023 is what I'm hearing.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I get that. And if you wait till it crashes, what would that mean to you?
Well, I mean, lower prices means I get to pay less for a house and make sure that I'm not overpaying.
Okay. And Dale, what happens if there's no crash? What would that do to your plans?
Well, it's going to happen. It has to happen. I mean, it's all over the news.
Yeah, totally. I hear it too. Absolutely. And you're looking in the Durham area, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And how long have you been following the prices there?
Here and there over the year.
Over the year, yeah. So, I take a look at the Durham market and I've seen that prices have come down 20% since the spring when everything was just crazy and out of control. Have you noticed that too?
Yes.
Great. How much more do you think it's going to come down?
I don't know. I mean, watching the news, I'm hoping for another 20%.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And the interest rates are predicted to go up in January at least one more time, according to the Bank of Canada, and then they'll see how interest rates get under control. Have you heard that as well?
Okay. Too much back and forth, Sue?
Too much? Okay.
Yeah. I want you to go for the coup de grace, deliver the payload, go for the close.
Okay.
Here's why, Sue. Because the more back and forth I start to catch on to what you're doing and what your intention is, and I start in my head formulating arguments against you.
Okay.
It gives me time to think about how to refute you because I start to recognize which way you're making this go.
Okay.
So let's go back to what if it doesn't happen? Well, it has to happen. So I've been watching the news, and it's going to happen at some point next year.
Okay. All right. Totally get it. Now I've been watching the Durham market. Prices have gone down from the spring, since about 20% in that area that you're looking at. And the Bank of Canada is going to raise interest rates more next year. So with those decreases, a house may cost you more next year. So is that the sort of,
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Now you're going to go
All
into
right.
a soft close.
okay, this is my weak point. Okay, well, you know, Dale, I get market data the first week in January every year from the market. Why don't I touch base with you?
No.
No?
You want to soft close me.
Okay.
Here's the soft close. So what you were doing is the logical next step, which is
Okay.
I'll follow up with you. You've basically accepted my no.
Okay.
Before you accept my
Yeah.
no. So Dale, if a home came on the market that looked like it was in your strike zone, checked most of your boxes, and you felt like it was a really good value, is that something you'd want me to put in front of you sooner than later?
Okay.
All right.
So
try.
Dale, if a house came on the market that looks like amazing value and has dropped in price, would you want to know about it?
And has dropped in price. Well, we're not doing that because you mean past price
Has
or
already.
in the future?
Past price.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Good. Well, good attempt at the soft close. Good job, Sue.
Okay.
So start doing that. Start using those soft closes to go for it.
Okay.
Don't just accept no. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Good. Excellent. Anna or Anna.
Hi, Dale. It's Anna. Thank you.
Anna. Great. All right, Anna, let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Listen, Anna, thanks for giving me a call, but listen, we're going to wait for the market to crash.
Oh, okay, Dale. Well, I appreciate that. When you say market crash, what exactly do you mean?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the prices to come down. You know, it's all over the news. We're in another bubble and I'm just waiting for the price cycle.
Yes, we've heard a lot of negative news on this current real estate market. And when do you think that will happen approximately?
Sometime next year.
I see. Okay, this is very good to hear your perspective on the current situation. What do you think that will do for you if this happens?
Well, I mean, you know, we'll be able to purchase because right now everything is just out of our price range.
Yes, I understand. A lot of families are experiencing this frustration, and so if in fact the market does crash, what if that doesn't? Oh, sorry, I'm mumbling now. Okay, so what if that doesn't happen, Dale?
I mean, I guess we just have to, you know, revisit our plans.
I see. Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what I know about the history of the real estate market in Vancouver. There's a few factors that do affect our current real estate market here. And one of them is immigration. So every year we've had quite a number of immigrants move to Vancouver, and including migrants from the East Coast as well. So the current level of immigration is going to be about 50,000 people coming to the city. So what that does, Dale, is that actually gives a lot of pressure on the real estate market. So I understand what you're saying about the market crashing. Typically, it would crash if we didn't have that immigration, because then obviously there'll be too many properties for not enough people. But with this current level of immigration, it tends to balance out the market. So that's one factor. Second factor is you want to get in when the market's coming down, not when it may go back up, because the history of the Vancouver real estate market has been that, yes, it may come down, markets come down, they go back up, but when are they actually going to reach rock bottom? That is the key element. You want to get it when it's coming down, because it can change rapidly, like it did in 2008. 6 months later, we were in a rising market again. And what's going to happen if that occurs again, Dale? So just a couple of thoughts for you to keep in mind.
Okay. I would go to your soft close now. Not thoughts to keep in mind. No. You and Sue are the two who are accepting the no. Don't accept the no. You drop your knowledge bomb like you just did. Go to your soft close.
What I would suggest, Dale, is that let's talk again in January.
Ask me. Nope. You're going to soft close me now, Anna.
Okay.
Soft close me now. If I
I
could,
would
would you?
suggest, pardon me?
It's the if I could, would you? Or if there
Okay,
was, would
if
you?
I could, okay. Dale, if I could find you the perfect home at your perfect price, would you be interested in that?
Okay, good. That was a good first try, Anna. Good job. Here's my feedback for you. I
Okay.
want you to practice your education piece. Some of the people that we've heard here that volunteered some of the information in their local markets were able to articulate their education piece faster. So I would encourage you to practice it so that you can articulate it faster. And then I would definitely practice your soft close too. Only because you want to make the soft close a little bit sexier, right?
Okay.
Great house, really good pricing. You felt really good about it. Looked like a great deal. Checked most of the boxes. Like, you don't want to kind of hype it up a little.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, good. Now, so everybody,
Streamline, okay.
yes, the
I
moral
know
of the
I'm
story.
very wordy, so I've got to just trim that down, I think.
Yeah, if you practice and you role play with other people, that will help.
Yes. Okay. Sounds good.
Uh,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm running out of time here, unfortunately, everybody. But let me ask you a question. Who here enjoyed this? Who here learned something?
Yeah,
Even
that's
Elena,
great, Dale.
even
Yes,
Elena, who I had to
absolutely.
tussle with. Even Elena, who I had to tussle with a little bit.
You didn't, but it's okay. But I like the soft closes. I really like it, and I didn't use it before. I'm going to start using it
Good.
with a follow-up. I really like the follow-up questions that you have. I don't use them at all, and I see the significance of them because it makes you call up again when you said you're going to follow up, and then you have something to refer back to. Oh, remember I said I'm going to call? I'm calling you. So I really love those ones, and I found them very helpful. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, everybody. So we obviously, I'm working with Agent Locator. I believe we're going to be coming back and doing more of this stuff where we'll be able to do some live stuff and role play with you guys, and more of you will be able to practice. Shameless plug, we do have a coaching and training company where we do this stuff on a weekly basis. You know, I said to Anna, she should be role playing. We have a role play group. We have a weekly Monday through Friday, what's called the prospecting room, where our clients can come into, they can role play with our trainers, they practice with our trainers, and we have either group or individual training sessions with our trainers for you agents and ISAs. If you're a team leader, we can also train your team. And so they'll drop, Jaden will drop a link here to our website. The one that he's dropping in there is Pipeline Builder. That would be for individual agents and ISAs. If you wanted to come, join us, learn this stuff, role play and practice with us on a weekly basis. So you can check out the information there. I'm easy to find. I'm Dale at smartsalescoaching.com. But if you go to the website, solicit, send in an inquiry, we'll hit you up, talk to you about it, tell you what the options are and how much it costs. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into the Facebook group for Agent Locator. Are you guys all Agent Locator clients, or did some of you come from like a Facebook ad? Okay, cool. Go into the Agent Locator Facebook group, and I want you to use the hashtag #MoreDale. Hashtag #MoreDale, okay? Because I'm an egomaniac and I can't get enough of myself. All right, everybody. Great seeing you. Thank you so much for participating today.
Thank you.